He's good for a laugh, but he's not good for knowledge. I think, you know what, it's interesting because you are more experienced than me. You've been buying property for how many years now?
I've been full-time in property for a couple of years, but I've been buying property for probably coming up. I bought my first property when I was 23.
So 17 years ago.
And I'm 38 now.
Or 38, so about 15 years in property. So I think you and me have similar views, but I think you have the benefit of kind of living through a recession, living through different periods of an economy, whereas I have a year of doing this. So for me, because the buy refurbish refinance, which I know you do and many people in here do as well, it's so predicated on the end value being, you know, within a tolerable limit of what we predict it or have researched it to be. So for me, a 10% drop is not going to affect my current properties, it's as long shall continue, but a 10% drop will affect my ability to leave less money in. So for me, because that is such a vital part of my strategy and my business and paying investors back, I am taking a back seat now and watching, and I'm still, you know, I'm holding myself back, but I'm watching. And look, if the right deal comes up, like, I mean, stupidly cheap, that the end value doesn't, you know, it won't be affected too much, then it's fine. However, I am taking more of a backseat. I'm not new necessarily. I'm newer than a lot of people for sure, but I'm taking a backseat because I need my end values to be spot on. So I'm waiting for, like I think I said last time, let other people, as soon as valuations open up, am I going to say, let's do a remortgage, Shaz, who's now joined us? Big up, Shaz. I'm not. I'm going to say, let everyone go ahead. Let me see what everyone does. Hashtag guinea pigs. Let me see what the sentiment is. Let me see what the gossip is. And then I'll say, am I going to do a revaluation? So I think also, right, and this is something that I think a lot of people can relate to, especially if you've been doing it for like even just a few months. Once you have a good deal flow and a good deal pipeline, you're kind of confident that it shall continue. So for example, I know, even if I didn't buy during this period, when I come out of it, if I message the right people, if I speak to the right agents, and my deal flow will continue. Yes, you know, I want to keep buying from certain sources because it's good for the relationship, but this is so uncertain that no one's, well, I think people aren't necessarily judging, you know, agents and blah, blah, are not judging for you not buying stuff. So I think it's quite a nice respite period, like just a freeze on your reputation with these people, because there's pressure, right? You know, from builders to keep giving them work, from agents to keep buying, from blah, blah, blah. So for me, I'm kind of like just comfortable with the deal flow enough that I'm like, let me just hold back a bit and not do it. I think for people who are like, say someone's buying their first house, their first investment, would I personally say you should invest now? If you've got a cracking deal that's really good, and because of Corona, maybe the vendor's taking less, then yeah, potentially, but it really depends on the deal. So my answer is a bit fluffy because it depends on the deal. But generally my advice is to be very cautious depending on your end exit. Because if it's for selling, you've got to think, right, when a value is coming back out for the first time buyers and for the mortgage lenders, you know, is everyone just going to batter you on price because of Corona, just like we try to as well? What's actually going to happen? So just make sure your exits are solid. Like any time, any good broker, anyone will tell you your exits have to be right. So for me, it's a mixed bag. It depends on the deal.